Shalom. I want to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double blessings, honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me his truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Coming back at y'all with another lesson through the spirit. I want to talk about an article that the brother sent me today. I'm going to go ahead and read it, pull out a few precepts through the spirit. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the header reads, Biden extends deportation relief for 900,000 immigrants from Venezuela, El Salvador, Ukraine, and Sudan. Now, I would like to just throw this in there real quick, which, I think this might fly over people's heads, but the average American probably does not realize that there's other, groups of people that are also a part of that as well. They don't never, well, I'm not going to say never because they actually mentioned Ukraine, but there's other, white people that cross the border as well. But you think they're going to do anything to those people? You have people from the Canadian border that cross over all the time. Don't hear nothing about it. You'll just hear about the southern border because, it's our people, the people who look like us. It's always a problem, but nonetheless, it's not what my videos about. My lesson would be more so about the divisions in this kingdom. So it says Biden extends deportation relief for 900,000 immigrants from Venezuela, El Salvador, Ukraine, and Sudan. I also seen that I believe they was giving more money to Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But it reads, administration on Friday renewed, President Joe Biden's administration on Friday renewed deportation relief that currently covers 900,000 immigrants from Venezuela, El Salvador, Ukraine, and Sudan, a move that would delay any attempts by President-elect Donald Trump to sunset those protections. Now, my question would be this. Those people that are being deported or being accounted in their, count for immigrants or migrants that are over here, do they account for, the sleeper cells, the terrorists that they have around this country that's just roaming around freely? And do they take into account the all the different migrant soldiers that they have over here as well, dwelling over here for the past almost 5 years now? Do they take, that into account as well when they talk about deporting people? So, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security extended enrollment in the temporary protected status program for those nations, giving those immigrants a deportation reprieve and access to work permits for an additional 18 months. So you got to realize, like I was saying the other day in one of my lessons, I said, the Biden administration is doing whatever they can to make, the Trump administration's inauguration or when they come into office, they're trying to make their jobs harder, way harder, than what it needs to be. By doing this, it says, it's gonna delay any attempts by President-elect Donald Trump to sunset those protections, meaning, stop those protections, because as you know, Donald Trump has just been going around sending out threats and all that other nonsense, talking about how he's going to deport a whole bunch of people. So it says, Biden, a Democrat, greatly increased the number of immigrants eligible for TPS, which is temporary protected status. since taking office in 2021. The status, which is available to people whose home country has experienced a natural disaster, armed conflict, or other extraordinary event, now covers more than 1 million people from 17 nations. So that means it's over a million migrants or strangers or whatever you want to call it. Just back in the day, they'd be called strangers or foreigners over here in this country. And like I said, I'm gonna keep saying, I wonder if those, those sleeper cells and those soldiers are in that number, accounted in that number. It reads, Trump, a Republican returning to the White House on January 20th, sought to end most TPS enrollment during his 2017-2021 term in office, but was stymied by U.S. courts, which I'm not sure what that word means, so let's go ahead and look. So, I like to get into the etymology of words and whatnot, see what they mean. Impede, interfere with. Trump won another term in office, promising a vast immigration crackdown, and again is expected to try and terminate most TPS protections. So if you all recall, when he was in office, he was trying to build a wall on the southern border to stop legal immigrants coming into the nation. Like I said, though, why they don't talk about the immigrants that come from the northern border? And we know why that's a rhetorical question, but Trump's transition team did not immediately respond to a request for comment. And if you don't know, Project 2025, like the whole Trump administration, is basically what they're trying to do is when they come into office, they're trying to undo everything that the Biden administration fucked up. The Biden administration's move on Friday stopped short of more sweeping demands by activists and some Democrats to grant TPS to most recently arrived immigrants and those from other nations. And another thing about it is that they don't want these foreigners taking their jobs and all this stuff. But the biggest laugh in all of this is the fact that a group of people could come over and take someone else's land and appoint it to themselves and kill off a whole nation of people, and nothing happened to them. And it's not, but when somebody tries to come and do it to you, then it's a problem. Like I said, Esau Edom is the definition of hypocrisy. The definition of hypocrisy. But it's okay, though. They haven't been punished yet, but they are starting to, face judgment. And that judgment is going to continue to come. Slowly but surely. I don't even want to say slowly but surely. Lord willing, it happened fast, quickly. Yeah. Todd Schultz, president of advocacy group FWD.US, said the extensions would allow hundreds of thousands of people to continue contributing to their communities, supporting their families, and strengthening the economy, but also urged Biden to expand TPS to Nicaragua and other nations. Some 600,000 Venezuelans are eligible for TPS, the biggest population in the program. And if you recall, this is the same group of people who they were saying was going around to different nations, or were going around in different cities and was taking over apartment complexes, all this other shit, man. Which, like I say, take everything that Esau Edom says with a grain of salt, because I don't believe that. If anything, that's, for publicity purposes, just to, give the American people another reason to want these people out of their country to expedite that process. The Biden administration, which first granted Venezuelans the status in 2021, cited high levels of crime in Venezuela related to political and economic instability under President Nicolas Maduro, who was sworn in a third term on Friday. You also have to realize that what the you got to go into the history of what America has have done to Venezuela and put sanctions on top. They didn't put sanctions on all types of countries, fucked up their economy, and then don't want to let the people over into their country. Which you went over there, took all their resources, basically raped them, and then left them for dead. That's all they're good and known for. So that's ultimately why they're going to face judgment in the end. It's going to be bittersweet. You're not going to have to see or deal with anything as ugly as an Edomite after those 1,000 years. But while we got them in the kingdom, man, we going to, even when we get those powers over here, we going to, hey, what they say, man, BTA, man, BTA, belt to ass. This is Salakia. I think it's verse 40. The divine kingdom is talking about. You know what that's talking about. Yeah, this one. This is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 40. Let's start at verse 37. Salakia. Babylonian kingdom. Okay. Salakia, I keep going back and forth. I like to have my split screens. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. Salakia, let's start at verse 38. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation, therefore, before the king. I was just talking about Nebuchadnezzar. This is about Nebuchadnezzar's dream of the statue. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the Most High power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength and glory. So I just want to stop right there, number one. Anyone on earth, actually, I'm not even going to say just Edomites, anyone on earth will not be able to do anything without the will of the Most High power. The Lord literally just said that he appointed them with a kingdom, power, strength, and glory. If he didn't do that, they wouldn't be shit. You know what I'm saying? They would be what they known to be, which is the basest of men. They would still be in the caves, troglodytes, unbathed, untrained, not knowing how to do nothing. But let's continue to read. It made me just want to. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. Like I said, none of this would be possible without the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all pieces, all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. So like, I wanna pull up that that statue real quick, just so y'all can picture it, because it goes from Babylonian Empire, it's a Medo-Persian, the Grecian, and then the Roman Empire, and this is just the revived Roman Empire. You know, that wound that deadly wound that was healed. But this is you know what I'm saying, this is the divided kingdoms in which we're coming upon right now. And whereas, so verse 40 talking about the Roman Empire, ancient Roman Empire. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, which is talking about, so like, let me just continue reading. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron. So part of it was of clay and part of it was iron. The kingdom shall be divided, which is talking about this kingdom we're in right now, Babylon the Great, the revived Roman Empire. So this kingdom will be divided. That's what Daniel interpreted from his dream through Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. So, like I said, there's lots of divisions in Babylon the Great, America. Political party, Democrat, Republican, race, black, white, whatever. Sexuality, straight, gay, whatever. And the list goes on, it continues on, man. Like I said though, you have these two people, Biden and Trump, warring with each other. But at the same time, they're puppets who work for the same master. The people don't know that though. So the fact that we all know that Donald Trump is, when he gets in office, he's already said this, he stated this. When I get in office, I will be doing mass deportations on immigrants. Right? He has, 10 more days until he goes into office. What does Joe Biden and his administration do? They renew the relief program on damn near 1 million immigrants. They renew it. They renewed the relief program for damn near 1 million immigrants. Basically saying that Donald, no, you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't take these people and deport them. That is division. That is division. You know? You did something blatantly that you knew the other person wasn't going to like. Or you know that the person was trying to do something or accomplish something, and you know they was trying to do that, and you do something that's going to delay what they trying to accomplish or stop it. Which like the article says, it's going to delay it. It's going to make it hard for them to do that. So let me finish reading verse 43. Salakia. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. They shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And that's just talking about, you know, the nepotism. We know that all the presidents and whatnot are linked somehow or some way as far as them being related. So that brings me to my second point. Like I said, I didn't have much to bring up, and I think I got like one more that I might bring up. Satan cast out Satan. Hold up, give me a minute. Salakia. Matthew 12:24, and it reads, but when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So, like I've said, this is a divided kingdom. And this place will be brought to desolation. It speaks all of it. It speaks about it all throughout the scriptures. That this place will become a desolation, and it will not be rebuilt, and it will not be inhabited anymore. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So this kingdom is a kingdom that is divided against itself. And like we've been saying, it does not have much longer to stand. Does it? And Lord willing, the divisions keep on increasing. Fuck around, see race riots, race wars, civil wars, all of that stuff. It even says in the NLT, man, Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. And not just civil war, just in general, any types of divisions. Like I said, there's lots of divisions in this kingdom. A town or family splintered by feuding will fall apart. No, that's the truth. And if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided and fighting against himself. His own kingdom will not survive. That's why they're trying to do everything they can to expedite. That's why they're trying to do everything they can to expedite the new world order, their global plan. Damn. It's like I have one more precept I want to. Think not that I am coming to send a sword. This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34, and I'm going to end it off here. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. And what does that word variance mean, man? To cut into two parts. To divide. Basically, variance to divide. NLT, let's get it. Don't imagine that I came to bring peace to the earth. Came not to bring peace, but a sword. I've come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Your enemies will be right in your own household. So, Lord willing, we see more and more divisions like this. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Double blessings and honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you all out there listening and watching. Until next time, I say Shalom Israel. Shalom.